serve in our armed forces, with several serving in combat areas now. We sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a nonprofit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVDF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content in on all programs are those of the host and their guests. Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Weekend Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news.
I'm not gonna need the headphones unless we get a call.
Yeah.
And good morning and welcome to Middleboro in Review. I am Joey Driscoll. I am joined by Don this morning as I turn up his mic. There we go. Good morning, Don.
I'm Joey. I want to wish you a happy birthday. Your birthday was on Wednesday. Joey Driscoll's 25 years old.
Yeah.
And we went to a famous hamburger place and rode ferry.
Very famous hamburger place.
Yeah, and we rode ferry boats all day. So we did our transportation gig. We had a great day. I love spending time with my son. It's on his birthday. It's our tradition. We go on to Pennsylvania together every year, and we do the football games. And we try to spend his birthday together. It's very important that we do this. And you seem to have fun on the boats, huh?
Yeah, it was really, really fun. It's the first time I was ever did it. So
Yeah.
Absolutely fun, and I would definitely recommend it.
Well, this particular hamburger restaurant, without mentioning it, because they don't pay.
It starts with a W. That's the guess we'll give.
Yeah. We went and had some burgers, hung out there, and then right at the Hingham shipyard, and then we walk over to the ferry. Took that to Boston, over to Rose Wharf, and then we took a ferry boat to Lynn. Never been up to the North Shore on a boat. That was interesting. $7, one way. Relatively cheap for a boat ride. Think about it, but it was an absolutely beautiful day on Wednesday for that. The weather's been awesome lately.
The weather has been really good lately.
As soon as June came, it just seemed like
it flipped the switch because it was always because it was raining a lot.
I don't know, We have a wonderful guest here in the studio. We have David Hogan.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning, Dave.
What are you, Elvis?
This is me,
What are you, Elvis?
Dave Hogan.
Elvis impersonating over here, yeah.
All right.
Just the guy
Yeah. So
smiling
we have a great show planned today.
Yeah, it's great. We have Dave, and we're gonna do our thing, right? And we'll discuss music because I feel Dave knows a lot about music. Been playing music, listening to music most of his life, and I find him an authority on the music, in my opinion.
Well, my tastes are very eclectic, as they would say, and but Joey is the same way. My ranges go from like the Carpenters and Mamas and the Papas and stuff like that to speed metal.
Right.
No,
that's...
And I never knew Joey was so eclectic until one day I came in and you were playing Forever in Blue Jeans, I think it was, for Neil Diamond. I'm like, you're a Neil Diamond fan? And you're like, oh, yeah. I'm like, oh, see?
Oh, yeah.
I
Definitely.
mean, I'm not a big country fan, but I love Johnny Cash,
But
like
Joey and my brother,
classic stuff.
Joey and my brother got me into country, into the newer country, because I was always a classic country guy.
Right.
Johnny Paycheck, Johnny Cash, Willie
Right.
Nelson,
I
stuff
was
like
going to
that.
say Johnny
But
Cash.
Joey's turned me on to the newer country, which and he's smart about it, how he does it, because it's not a full frontal assault. It's like just kind of just pushing it through the back door in a way, because music is really it's tough to get people to like music. You have to do it a certain way to get them to like it. It has to be certain time. It's all about the timing when you play it, and he knows because I do the same to other people. But it's just you can't shove it down their throat because okay, yeah. But timing is everything, in my opinion. And
Sure.
Joey has it. He's got me hooked onto a lot of stuff that I don't think I'd listen. And there's other stuff I'm like Peter Gabriel. I have a friend of mine, Buddy Mick from New Jersey, loves Peter Gabriel. And
I
I'm
like
like,
Peter Gabriel.
I was like, I can't. Yeah, I just don't. I just.
I like Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
The song Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
I think the music video is
I
amazing.
think Peter.
Yeah, that was the thing that got you. Yeah,
Right.
was the video for it.
Well, Peter
Yeah.
Gabriel's with Genesis, and I think I could deal with more Peter Gabriel. with
Right,
Genesis
the
than solo.
Genesis stuff was good.
Right.
You know, Lamb
Yeah.
Lies Down on Broadway.
Yeah,
And, you know,
yeah.
and there's the earlier stuff, the Foxtrot, and
Right,
all that
right.
stuff. But
But I mean, when you think Genesis, you think Phil Collins.
right.
Yes.
Sing.
Yes.
Which, in my opinion, you know, I was I never really cared for Phil Collins all that much. I mean, yeah, the songs were good, and,
Yeah.
you know, but
I disagree on that because Joey played me like 4 songs off Abacab.
Abacab is a fantastic.
Oh,
that is a good album.
Oh, with all the horns and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure who the guitarist is. His name's Mike, but he went on to do Mike.
Rutherford,
Yeah, he went on to do the Mike and the Mechanics.
Mike and the
And
Mechanics.
he had that hit in '88. I forgot the name of the song.
Yeah, there's you know, about the father.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then something about
And
time.
it's funny too because I used to work for a guy who played that song and loved it. You know, and this guy was like, I worked for him at a plumbing company, and this guy was bigger than life. He was, you know, tough guy kind of guy, and he played it for me. You know what I mean? I was crying because he remembers his father. This guy was, you know.
But that's the thing, you know. I mean, you might a person like that might embrace a particular song.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what's so great about music because
Yeah.
you can take the most hardest person.
for
in
me,
the
it's
world.
Cats in the Cradle.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
always hits me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people. I think that's a song that people think about a lot. So, yeah. Joey.
That's the thing about certain songs. You know, they can invoke emotions
In memories.
and memories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's how I associate music in a way. Like if I listen to some old Van Halen,
Yep.
all I'll think about is the books I was reading when I was like 15,
Right.
you know, and, you know, hanging out in my basement, in my parents' house and
Right.
stuff like that. You know, it's
Right.
just, you know, certain things that I was listening to heavy at that particular time. You know, because I went through my phases. I had my Doors phase. I had my Van Halen phase.
All right. Yeah.
You know, when I was a teenager, and
There's-
Iron Maiden.
There's
you know.
songs that make, I remember that remind me of my dad. And I played one this morning. And it's really a movie soundtrack. It was called Burning Bridges by the
Mike something
Yeah,
band. I
yeah.
don't know off the top of my head.
Mike Club, Mike
What
Curb.
movie was it
Mike
from?
Mike Curb. Mike
The
Curb.
Mike Curb band, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's called Burning Bridges, and it's the soundtrack for Kelly's Heroes.
Oh, okay. I
Remember
remember that
those
movie.
acts?
Yeah,
Everyone knows
Telly
that.
Savalas.
Everyone in that.
Yeah.
My father took me to see that at the Oyster House in Quincy. They used to have film night on Sunday nights.
Really?
Yeah. The old, you know, you don't even remember that. It was years ago. It was the late '70s, early '80s. And when I listen to that song, I think of my dad because we've watched that, you know, because looking at that movie, it's just like that was in my opinion, and I'm not saying it because I'm 57 years old, but I'm looking at it from a perspective where it seems like the actors were golden. You know what I mean? Just the Telly Savalas, Don Rickles, Clint Eastwood, Donald Sutherland, Carol O'Connell. Everyone was in that movie, and it was such a good movie.
Yeah.
It was almost like a comedy. It was a war movie. It was sad in some areas, but it's just that those movies like that really bring up big memories. It's the stuff I've with my dad.
Right.
My father and I were big movie buffs, and the last movie I saw with my father And I dragged him to the Star Trek movies. So we saw the last Star Trek movie that came out in 2016. He couldn't sit through the whole thing. His back was hurting him or whatever. But anyway, I still dragged him. He took me to see Battlestar Galactica in 1979 when no one would. And, it's just my father would do that. My father would spend time and take me to the movies and do stuff with me. And when you hear a song like Burning Bridges on the Kelly's Hero soundtrack, it brings back great memories. I think of my dad. And that's what music does for me. And
for me, it was Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
The original Smokey and the Bandit. I think I wanted to see it, and my dad took me to see it.
Yeah.
And I think he was like regretting it the whole time because, there's nothing but swears from the beginning to the end, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, that was technically a PG movie, you know?
But then the soundtrack, I had never really liked country at all.
Jerry Reed.
Yeah.
He's found it down.
The picking. And then I found out, I started doing some research about the guy. And not only was he funny as heck in that movie,
right?
But he was a very, very talented musician, and I ended up getting into his music.
Oh, Jerry Reed's awesome.
Very talented.
Gator is another song from a movie. He did a lot of work with Burt Reynolds. He did Gator in 1974.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I believe Smokey and the Bandit was 76 or 77.
And then he did the Smokey and the Bandit 2, right? He did it, but Burt Reynolds did
No, he did 2 and 3. He was the only one in 3, which
okay,
the movie
gotcha.
wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think that was one of Jackie Gleason's last movies was Smokey and the Bandit 3. One of them. I'm not sure if it was the last one, but it was one of them.
Well, there was that Richard Pryor movie too, The Toy. He was, remember?
Oh.
Jackie Gleason.
Yeah.
Paul Lazarovich says Mike Curb Congregation.
Right.
Yes.
No, that's it.
All right.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah, Paul knows that, and I'm sure he's seen that movie. And there's a longer version of that song too. If you look around, it's just a different take, which is really good too. It's different bass rhythms. It's really good. So.
There's another artist I listen to quite a bit, and that's Alan Parsons, the Alan Parsons Project.
Oh, yeah, Alan Parsons Project.
That 1-2 punch of Cirrus and Eye in the Sky. Amazing. Amazing stuff. And then the song Time as well. Really great song.
Yeah.
He's a very unique artist. Definitely somebody to check out.
Well, that's a song
absolutely
related to sports because...
Sirius is, yeah.
Yeah, actually, my friend Ed from Quincy, he's like the director of the softball in Quincy. So sometimes he calls Joey to do the soundtrack, run,
The music and stuff.
call
the games.
He's done it like 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
And the songs we pull out, the instrumentals are best.
Yeah.
I mean, even I think he used the soundtrack on Blues Brothers 2000, Perry Mason soundtrack with the Blues Brothers.
Okay.
Unbelievable. And a lot of people who don't know, I had somebody comment not too long ago said that the Blues Brothers soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks out there. I said you got to listen to the Blues Brothers 2000 soundtrack. I'm not saying it's better.
No, that was one of my
good.
phases too. I think in my Doors phase, where I was like exploring blues and different kinds of blues and stuff. And somebody gave me, I think it was one of my cousins gave it to me on vinyl, was Briefcase Full of Blues.
Right.
Which was basically the soundtrack of the movie.
Yeah, the 1980.
But it was just a live version of them. I forget where they were playing, Madison Square Garden or something like that.
Yeah, my brother had
But
it.
man, that album from start to finish, there isn't a bad song on that album.
What a great, and that's why Blues Brothers 2000. And John Goodman, he was the other. He took.
Yeah, that's why.
He did a song called Fox, like a fox.
Looking for a fox.
Looking for a fox. He does the
favorite
lead
song.
on that. Hey, you can sing. You can sing, man. That's what Dan Aykroyd says. Hey, you can sing, man. So I just like how, but Blues Brothers 2000 is great. It's got a lot of gospel in it. it's got blues in it. It features Blues Traveler in that.
Oh yeah,
A little Caribbean sort of.
the harmonica player.
Yeah. Then the Caribbean sort of a Caribbean kind of. You know that song I'm talking about, right?
They do.
Dr. John.
Yeah.
Good. There's a lot of B.B. King again in it.
Yeah.
Eric Clapton. That last song they do with every blue person in the world is on that last song. Everybody. I can't even name them all. You know,
That's a lot.
And it's just anybody who loves the first album, give the second album a shot. It's such a great album. The movie was a lot of fun. It wasn't good as the first, but I enjoyed it. I mean, they're trying. And then if you had the original Blues Brothers band, because half of them are dead now.
Right.
So, I mean, you can't do another movie. So, you kind of have to keep an eye on that one, you know?
It's 7:24. We're going to take our first commercial break right now. Open phone lines today, 508-822-1106. What are your favorite bands and music to listen to? Give us a call. 508-822-1106 is the number. We'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review on 1530 AM, 99.7 FM.
You want to get it for me? No, I didn't have to get out.
Spark Street Auto Body, located at 48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies. You can reach them at 508-583-1495. They are open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8 to 4 on Fridays. Call them today. You will not be disappointed.
Are these hot mics?
508
No, they're not.
1495.
So we try not to.
Check this out.
Oh, that's no.
We try not to have potty mouth. Either.
Yeah, because we have the Facebook running too.
Did you hear my restraint?
Yeah.
The
Yes.
heck.
Yes.
Heck, Don,
Good.
Josh.
Yeah, no, you guys heard me.
I'll leave up the beaver
You
talk.
guys heard me.
You all right?
You guys
Careful,
heard me.
dude.
No, that's okay.
We don't have to lose this somehow in the dumpster later at the end of the day. Fly was like, you ever see Dave? He never showed up. Dave never showed up. He left mad.
Throw me on the wood pile.
That's a cool shot. I love it.
I bought one for me and I bought one for my niece. She's just finished her first year of college and she's heavy into H.P. Lovecraft and stuff like that. She loves all that gothic old.
Billy sent the soundtrack of Dumb and Dumber. Do you guys know it?
No.
Oh man, well there's that iconic song. It's like a instrumental type of thing.
Yeah. He sent me a voice message I can't listen to right now.
But it is funny.
Yeah.
That's a good soundtrack. Yeah, Dumb and Dumber.
That was a great movie.
Oh, the movie was incredible.
You got to do weather and stuff when you get
Yeah,
back?
as soon as we get back, yeah. Alright, there we go. 3, 2, 1, 0. And we're back here on Middleboro in Review. I am Joey Driscoll, joined by Don, joined by Dave Hogan as well today. So,
Coming all the way from Northbridge to see us here at the studio.
yeah, so we got a full house today.
He was happy when I brought him his coffee. 2-2.
All right, Middleboro, 63 degrees right now. Nice and sunny. Possible rain showers today, though. So you got to keep an eye on the weather today. 72 for the high today. 54 for the low tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, tonight. 54 for the low tomorrow as well, actually. So that's good. 79 for the high tomorrow. Sunny throughout the whole week, which is going to be great. There's going to be some 80s in there as well. 84 on Thursday, probably the pick of the week. So very good weather coming up in Middleboro. In Taunton, 72 degrees today for the high, 62 currently. Mostly sunny right now, but rain possible today. A low of 55, 78 tomorrow with a low of 55 and mostly sunny. Mostly sunny for the rest of the week as well in Taunton.
That sounds cozy.
Driscoll, North Dakota, 51 degrees right now. A high of 72, a low of 49 tonight. Tomorrow, rain in the forecast, 73 degrees with a low of 54. And Driscoll, Texas, 77 degrees right now, 98 today with a low of 77. Rain tomorrow, 95 degrees with a low of 77. 100 degree days are possible towards the end of the week, but there's some rain mixed in there, which might keep the temperatures down a couple of degrees.
Where is Driscoll, Texas?
Corpus Christi
Yeah,
area.
it's outside Corpus Christi.
Oh, okay, so it's on the water. I was gonna say,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
for it to rain, you know.
Yeah, and then Driscoll, North Dakota is near
Halfway between Bismarck and Fargo,
Fargo.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah, that's in the middle of nowhere. That doesn't.
It is in the middle of it.
That has no store. We tried calling a store or whatever, and there's no stores. There was a restaurant that closed down. I think the pandemic caught it. And we got a hold of a rancher, and we got to have a rancher call, but he never called. He probably knows.
You're gonna motor on over to Minnesota and do some ice fishing, eh?
Maybe.
We'll try again some other time
We're gonna try.
as well. We're going to try again some other time.
I called the town hall, but they, obviously they have to. If they got to call a radio station, they got to do it officially.
Yeah.
We'll follow up at some point, but
Yeah, we'll figure it
we're
out.
just hoping to get like a private business, some restaurant or something, call in or whatever. But I don't know.
Just describe the town.
Well, the rancher was great. We talked to the rancher, and he gave him the number, and he says, call, and he never called. I don't know.
I wonder what the acreage
Well-
that guy owns. You know what I mean? When you say a rancher
I called, and we got a
in North
number.
Dakota, man.
And she says, I don't want to do it, but my son will definitely do it. He'll do it. Then I called him, he said, I'll do it. It's okay, great. Here's the number, call. And he'll call.
Those are the guys that they don't measure it in
Well,
acres. It's
well,
like, what do they call them?
Well, I mean, it's technically 4 a.m, for them. I mean, I think they're in Central.
No, it's like
Just-
5, I think.
Yeah,
5:29
but I mean,
right now.
they're really either Central. He was Central right on the mountain timeline. So 5. So I mean, Central before and
Yeah, we digress.
But
Yeah.
But I mean, I should get up at 3 anyway, don't you? Yeah, right.
All right, our Today in Histories, before we get back to our talk about music.
I love it because we have a guest that we can discuss that. It's great. It
Yeah.
takes up half the show, but it's fun.
So we have a really important one here to begin today. 1953, the Flint-Worcester tornado outbreak sequence kills 94 people in Massachusetts. Flint being, I believe, in Michigan.
Yeah, Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, so that was quite a tornado outbreak. It went all the way from Michigan to Massachusetts.
I think the recent tornado we had was in 2008. Started in Westfield and went through the town of Monson. Remember we went to Monson and
Yeah.
checked that town out?
We did.
It went from Westfield and to Sturbridge. And it went through like Springfield, right through Springfield. And when we went to Monson, we look at it, it's just like, there you go. DPW, 6-lane highway through the woods, just cut. Just the trees are just knocked down, and it's like they're clearing for a highway when we saw that.
Yeah, I've seen that myself because
Yeah.
I was living
Scary.
up near the Capitol in Maine and Augusta region.
Was that in '89?
Uh,
Because there was a tornado in
Yeah, you know-
Greenland, New Hampshire.
yeah, I think it was
Might
something
have
like
been- I
that.
think
It was
that
somewhere in
series of storms.
the late '80s, early
Yeah, I
'90s.
remember that.
But one listener that's out there, I'll have nameless, but we were working at a camp together, and I remember waking up in the middle of the night, and it sounded like a freight train going by my window, and the windows shaking and stuff. I didn't know what it was, and then it went away, and I went back to sleep. Apparently, a tornado went ripping right through the woods. When I left the next day, it looked like, you know, when they clear for
highway.
power lines.
Oh, a highway, yeah.
Or a ski slope. That's
Yep.
what it looked like. And it was a path that apparently it was taking everything with it, and it went down to the lake, scooped up a bunch of water, and then just collapsed on itself. You know, it couldn't support the weight of the water, you know. But all these trees in the water, and it was quite the sight.
When we went to Monson,
And to think that I was that close to it.
yeah, you don't know.
Less than half a mile.
Yeah, no. When we went to Monson, because Joey and I took a ride to check it out, you could see it come. It's hilly around there, Monson, Mass. It's over near Palmer. It's up near that part of the state, and it came out of the woods, came out of the hill from the west, and then Monson's sort of like a valley, so you could see how the town was. And we went to the police station. We talked to a couple police officers, and I said, "What do you want duty here when this came through?" He said, "Yeah, we're in the basement." He says, "But I mean, but we're in a valley here, so we kind of the tornado kind of went above all the buildings in the valley in
Right.
Monson, and then you could see where it started ripping south again into the woods up to the next hill. But I mean, the valley saved it, but I think it was flat or whatever. It was high. I think the town would have got devastated. But but some of the town did. Some of the town, you know, some of the houses got hit,
It's crazy.
and it was devastating for the town. And that was the worst because it hit the center of Monson, Mass. And I never heard of Monson, Mass until that happened. We went to, well, what's Monson?
No, but it's few and far between. I mean, we're very lucky where we live, you know. I mean,
yeah.
The climate hasn't
Yeah.
changed all too much, but you know, I mean, we still get our good rainfalls, and
Right.
you know, it's the
I mean, out in the Midwest where they have them a lot,
We're very lucky.
they have the sirens and everything. They'll quick for it. We don't have it here. So if we have one, you better be looking at your phone, or you better be looking out the window and get in the basement, because we don't have the sirens. We don't have we have them, but it's not something they use all the time.
what do you mean, civil defense type?
Yeah, you know how they have the sirens.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
but
so-
it's been a long time. Who knows if they even work?
Well, they probably do work, but I mean,
But no, I'm sure
in
they
the
probably
Midwest,
have
I'm
somebody
sure they'll all-
on maintenance, you know, making
Right.
sure they
in the
work.
Midwest,
yeah.
they're all oiled up and ready to go. I mean, because they use them a lot. So
Right.
Yeah. The closest I've got to see a tornado is a dust tornado in Carver many years ago. So that's the closest I've gotten.
in '97, they had one that rolled up Route 18 and it hit Whitman. Whitman was, and they didn't call it a tornado. They called it a funnel cloud. They called it something.
Yeah.
All right. But I remember driving up Route 18. I looked at Abington at the time, looking at Route 18. It looked like the end of the world in my rearview mirror, and it was sunny in front of me. And I was like, you know what? I'm heading home.
Yeah.
And then I got home, and where I lived, the basement wasn't connected to the first floor. I had to walk out, get on the basement. And I was standing in my driveway, just waiting to go into the basement, and it went another way. I mean, I was like seconds from going in and locking myself down there.
Yeah.
You know, so it's scary.
All right, June 9th, 1973, Secretariat wins the U.S. Triple Crown. Wins the third race of that Triple Crown and becomes one of not too many, but one of a good few racing horses that won the Triple Crown. The most recent was 2018. We didn't get one this year. Maybe we'll get one next year. Triple Crown winner. We'll see. Birthdays on this day. 1851. For this one, Charles Joseph Bonaparte, American lawyer and politician, the 46th United States Attorney General. He served in the cabinet of the 26th U.S. President, Theodore Roosevelt. He was a descendant of the House of Bonaparte. His grandfather was Jerome Bonaparte, who was the brother of Emperor Napoleon. So very important guy there. 1915, Les Paul, American guitarist and songwriter. 1939, Dick Vitale, American basketball player, coach, and sportscaster. If you watch college basketball, you'd most likely hear his voice. He is a very iconic voice when it comes to college basketball. 1941, John Lord, his birthday. would have been today. English singer, songwriter, and keyboard player for Deep Purple. He also was at
Happy birthday,
one of his last
Maestro.
one of his last projects was with Tony Iommi and
Yeah, I
Ian
do
Gillan.
believe that was like one of his last recordings.
Yeah, it was called Who Cares?
Yeah,
And,
excellent song.
They did an album in 1988. There was
He was only on 2 tracks on that album.
yeah,
right?
he was on 2 tracks. No, actually, technically 1, I think. But I mean, it sounds like he was on that second track. There's 2 newer tracks. It was for the album. But in 1988, I believe, there was a massive earthquake in Armenia, and then Ian Gillan got on board and did something for Armenia. And on that track, on Who Cares, there's a lot of different songs.
Like Jason Newsted on bass.
Yeah, that was the newer recordings. But yeah, that was the last thing he did because he passed away of cancer. I think he died. That came out in 2011. He died like 6 months later.
Yeah, it was very shortly.
Yeah, but I mean, his career, Deep Purple, unbelievable. I mean, he's did every album up till what was the last album he did? He did was 1998. Was it Bandit or whatever?
Yeah, Abandoned.
Yeah, and then his replacement, which I think is a warranted replacement. Great.
Don Irie?
Don Airey.
Airy.
Yeah, Don Airey.
Don Airey did a lot
Right, and there was
Oh,
something
man,
prior to Deep Purple.
right.
Oh, heck.
I think before John's passing, and I'm not sure what year it was, they all got together, and both Don Airey and John Lord played on the same stage, which was great.
All right, 1954. Paul Chapman's birthday is today. Welsh guitarist and songwriter. He would have been 70 today. He's best known for his work in bands such as UFO and Lone Star. He's well known by his nickname Tonka, allegedly acquired because of his indestructible qualities. 1961, Michael J. Fox, Canadian-American actor, producer, and author, born on this day in 1961. 1963, Johnny Depp, American actor. 1973, Teddy Bruschi, American football player and sportscaster, Patriots legend. And we have a Star Wars birthday here to end off the birthdays. Natalie Portman. It's her birthday today. She's 43 today. She was Padme Amidala in the first episode of Star Wars: Phantom Menace, and also throughout as well. Those three movies. And our deaths today: Adam West, Batman, Mayor West from Family Guy. Adam West. He passed away 7 years ago today.
I love that show.
Wham, pow.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I loved that show.
Yeah.
And then I still like to watch it later on because it's so campy, you know?
Oh, it's fun though. It was a lot of fun. And Burgess Meredith was the
Oh yeah,
he's the Riddler.
so many famous people that when I was a kid I didn't know.
I think the Joker, whoever
was
the
who,
Joker
but-
was, is still alive. Right?
Cesar Romero.
I think
Caesar Romero,
I think he's
yeah.
still alive. I saw something on Facebook from too long ago. Was that it was Joker and Catwoman, pictures of them and pictures of them now.
Yeah, I forget what her name was.
You know, so yeah, that was a lot of fun, and then it brought Batman into the then with the Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson Batman, and then now with the Heath Ledger and Christian Bale.
They were good, man. Those Dark Knight movies. Wow.
A friend of mine.
Wow. I thought Christian Bale was so
Very
good. I was like, it took that campy humor out of it. And got
yikes,
like really dark.
It's funny too
But
because
I really enjoyed
even
those
the Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson stuff was a little campy, but but it wasn't as campy, because what the original Batman was on child's programming,
Yes.
with the cartoons. So I mean, obviously you couldn't have anything that
Right.
no one was killed, no one was just that the fighting was comical as far as
Right.
the cartoon boot, bam, wow, boom. You know what I mean?
They didn't. Yeah, they didn't even show the actual punch.
No.
There was no violence.
No.
It was only.
Yeah, and they show that, and they show the guys on the ground getting arrested. So, but my friend Kevin, he had all those magazines. He had all those comics when those Nicholson and movies were coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, the first movie in '89, the Batman with Michael Keaton. He had all those comics, all the dark stuff, and I'm looking at him. I said, He says, yeah, this is gonna be. You're gonna see movies like this coming out in the future.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it, but it's just.
I know the series you're talking about too. There's some really dark stuff out there. When Bane broke Batman's back. They called it the Broken Bat series.
What was the name of that asylum?
Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum. There was a whole book on that.
The video games. Some of the video games are
where
brutal.
they locked him up.
Just twisted.
Yeah.
Some of the video games are brutal.
And then I was like, well, I just watched the original Batman movie with, you are my number one guy.
And then the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie.
Yeah.
Did not see it.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. They're still waiting on another. He said the new one's gonna be musical.
It seems like it. I hope not. I hope not. All right. Anyway, doing blood drives real quick before we take our last commercial break. We have 2 blood drives coming up. We have Friday, June 14th, 2024, at the Church of Our Savior, 60 Union Street, Middleboro, 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. for that blood drive. And then we have Friday, June 28th, 2024, at the Wareham Council on Aging, 48 Marion Road in Wareham, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. for that blood drive. It is 7:44 a.m. We're going to take our last commercial break right now. When we come back, we'll have more with Dawn, and we'll have more with Dave. And open phone lines today as well, 508-822-1106. We'll be right back here on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM.
Go face A.
I tell you, you need another business because you can make money running your mouth.
Coffee with Tony is back. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, starting right after the 9 a.m. news. Great local, regional, and national guests, but more importantly, you and your phone calls. We'll always have time for you and open lines at 508-822-1106. I'm looking forward to talking to all of you every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday on Coffee with
Thank
Tony.
you. Looking good, too.
Only on WBB.
I saw it online, man, and what it was you know how they target you and stuff with ads. So I was doing some research on
St. Vincent de Paul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro.
Lovecraft and this and that. So it started putting up all these t-shirts and Cthulhu, and I saw the Cthulhu president. That is, yeah, okay.
On Oak Street.
And what I like about it is there's no change.
In downtown Middleboro.
You know?
Yeah.
So it could be anything. Yeah, right?
Many of them come to us from various types of aid.
That's what I liked about it. But I immediately, when I saw it, I started laughing, and I immediately thought of my niece.
Utilities and rent
You know?
assistance.
So I got it for her and sent it to her, and then I
And temporary
ended up getting one for myself too. It was actually an accident.
Really?
Yeah, I sent one to myself and I sent one to my niece. Never shop online when you've had a couple beers.
Good Lord bless you and keep you safe.
Oftentimes, the wheelchairs our veterans and first responders receive from wheelchair providers
What do you? It's the last commercial?
Last commercial break.
falling apart. With the years
No, you got one more
See,
commercial after this.
Dude,
Stop playing
I
mine.
could barely walk when I came in.
It's the beginning of the month. You're up. You're up. That's why. So you gotta pay up.
Yeah. No, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's good. I mean, because I know what that's talking about. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
wheelchairs for warriors.
All right.
Mission Food Pantry helps people with food insecurities from the hardships of life.
Yeah, chairs are not good.
Years, they have given more
I hear you.
than 4,000 bags of groceries to those in need. For guests with limited transportation options, they are open every Saturday morning from 9:30 to 11:30 at the north door of the First Parish Church, 76 Church Green, and are available to anyone, no questions asked. The demand increases every week. With the looming reduction in SNAP benefits, the need is growing. Please consider a donation of
Well, I'm
unexpired
surprised they doing
non-perishable
surgery
food
this early.
items,
That's good.
grocery store gift cards, or
But
a
all it
monetary
says to me is like I
donation
could
via
have
check
had this
to
months
the
and
Matthew
months and
Mission
months
Food
ago.
Pantry,
If it wasn't
76
for the
Church Green, Taunton,
insurance company.
Yeah,
or
but I
by
mean, you
Venmo
can't pay
at
for it,
Matthew
so
Mission
what
Food
can you
Pantry.
do?
The Matthew Mission Inc. is a registered
I mean, they were
501c3
trying-
They broke me,
organization.
you know. The hotel, they broke me, they gotta fix me. You broke it, you got it.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and 0. And we are back here on Middleboro in Review. We have about 11 minutes left in the show today. 508-822 is... Let's try that again. 508-822-1106 is the number to call if you have anything you want to talk about. If you have something you want to talk about in the music department area. You got a favorite band you listen to or favorite album you listen to, give us a call, 508-822-1106. Don,
Yes.
I don't know, you were looking at me like you had something to say.
Well, I remember we were discussing a couple of things the other day, you know, so just a quick question to everybody listening. What would you say is a cover of a song that you think is better than the original?
Blinded by the Night by...
Blinded by the Light?
Blinded by the Light by Manfred Mann F Band, the cover from Bruce Springsteen. They turned that into a hit. And they turned that song into something spectacular.
Right. Okay, I agree with you there. For me, it was the live Joe Cocker, The Letter. Because the original Box Top, great song, but they just took it to another level, man. That's like one. I'm not a big Joe Cocker fan at all,
Right.
but those live recordings of him, I think it was Fillmore East,
Right.
1973.
And it was live too.
Yeah, and he had this guy Leon Russell on keyboards and guitars, and
He's well known.
you know, session man. You look at that guy's resume, and wow,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
he's the one that actually wrote "Superstar"
Right.
by the Carpenters. The Carpenters made it. There was like 22 artists covered "Superstar."
Wow. Joey, what about you?
Disturbed, Sound of Silence.
Yeah.
Very good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, they took another one. They took to a different level.
Yeah, he put a lot of passion. I'm not saying it was as folky, but it was acousticy, I think. Yeah.
Well, I went through my Paul
think
Simon phase too. Like I was talking about phases, you know, but Simon and Garfunkel live at Central Park.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like the quintessential. If you like, you know, them, that was them at their prime.
You know,
2 album set, beautiful.
Yeah.
I might go as far as to say is that is the best cover of all time.
Wow.
Yeah. A very beautiful cover.
A lot of bands do "Oh Well" by Fleetwood Mac.
Everybody does it.
Purple does it. There's a band called the Rockets, because I was looking for
Oh, that
Well.
was the Peter Green years, right?
Yeah, but I mean, the
Fleetwood
Peter
Mac.
Green years, Lizzy
Slash
Buckingham.
and
I
Chris
think-
Stapleton just did
Yeah,
it.
I think Fleetwood Mac recorded like 4 times or 3 times. They have all these different versions. Deep Purple has a great version. Slash and who?
Slash and Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, and then there's a band called the Rockets. You know, I never heard of them. I'm sure
Really?
Paul Laz has. You know, a bit Paul Laz has because he's heard of everything. But the Rockets, and they got sort of like more piano into it and stuff like that. So that song, you can go anywhere with that song. You know, but you go back to Paul Simon, right? After 9/11, after all the programs were starting to come back, Saturday Night Live came back for the first time after weeks, and they had all the fire. You know, the Mayor Giuliani was there. They had all the firefighters and police officers standing in the back, and Paul Simon did The Boxer. The Boxer, in my opinion, that song is New York City. Just the lyrics, just you listen to that song in any form or fashion, you just feel like you're there. You just feel like you're in New York. It is New York. It would have been nice to have, you know, our Garfunkel there too.
That's a beautiful song.
Yeah, but I think that song was fitting. That was healing for me watching that, because everyone was just heartbroken. I mean, it took a lot out of everybody. You were too young to remember. But,
Yeah.
You know, but
it was only 2.
It was heartbreaking. It was the most heartbreaking thing I've ever dealt with in my life nationally. I mean, a lot of stuff's happened in my lifetime, but that was it for everybody. I mean, there wasn't even normal programs on for months. About a month, you know. It's been. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was living right outside of Boston.
Yeah.
And I remember, you know, what the weirdest part was, there was no planes. I was so used to hearing planes that it became part of life.
Oh, you know the planes.
And so when
the F-14s later.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
You know? The
only stuff you would hear or see were like fighter jets, and that was creepy as well.
Yeah, because you're not used to seeing that over the United States. So that was pretty.
Remember when I was working in Boston, we're looking out the window and we saw one coming up the Charles River, and it came back and straight at the club. And I swear that thing, it felt like the whole building was shaking, and I hit the deck. Half my crew hit the deck. We didn't know if this thing was coming right at us.
It's
was that low.
It's funny too, because I got called into the oil company I was working for, and they were worried about not getting oil. So I go to the terminal, and I was like one of the last trucks that get loaded. I mean, they ended up opening a couple of days later or whatever, but it was September, so it wasn't, you know. But it felt weird because I was driving around delivering heating oil, and that afternoon during all that, and everybody walked out and talked to me. You know, it was just like, oh, we're gonna give you 100 gallons. You know, and for now we don't know what's going on. It's that's fine. You know, so it's just weird, but just from a different perspective. But you know, I went to work. Gotta keep going, right?
Yep.
I want to switch gears real quick, and then with the final couple of minutes, I'm going to ask everyone what your favorite album is of all time. So, a hard question to end the show today, but genre, I'm good at that. I'm good at that, asking the hard questions when it comes to these kind of topics. Quick sports thing. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals was yesterday. Kind of boring, honestly. I wasn't rooting for the Florida Panthers, so kind of a boring game. As a Oilers fan for this series, not fun. Not a fun game 1. Don, you made your fandom quite clear as to who you like in this series.
Yeah, Florida.
We'll agree to disagree there.
Yeah.
But
my buddy Mark wants Florida too. He's the hockey guy in the family. You know, he's in the group of friends. My buddy Mark. He plays hockey. He is hockey. He's all hockey.
I think
he's all about
he's
hockey.
Mr. Hockey. My buddy Mark.
I think this series goes 7. So I don't think the series is over yet, but that was not a great game 1 for the Oilers.
What about that first Celtics game?
That first Celtics game, however, that was very, very good.
Yeah.
And tonight is game 2. And
in Boston, right?
Yep, and I gotta say, if the Celtics win game 2, and especially if they win game 2 like they did...
Slow down there, Luther, all right?
Yeah, the momentum will be all Celtics if they win game 2.
I don't know. But Brad Stevens, if anybody needs a championship, is that guy, because he's such a class act.
Yes, I think this series ends in 6.
Yeah.
Maybe 5.
Yeah.
Maybe 5. As of right now, 6 or 5.
Okay.
Right now. All right. go around the room here. Don, you
No,
first.
go with Dave first. Put him on the spot.
Okay.
Still.
Okay. All right. Favorite album.
Black Sabbath, Black Sabbath. I have to say it's you know, that opened my eyes to a whole different world of music. You know, at the time I was listening to a lot of Pink Floyd, The Doors, things like that. You know, the albums. I was just a kid, but you know, albums people would give me and stuff like that. And then I remember one Christmas, my oldest cousin, he said, everybody needs this album. You know, and I was intrigued, and I went home and I listened to it, and from the beginning, it still gives me chills. From the first note to the last song, I just brings, like we were talking about, memories, you know, brings back those memories of carefreeness, stuff like that, but also, like I said, opened up a whole another world of heavier music.
Blues, real blues. Yeah, and a lot of people think the lyrics are off the lunch, but they're really not. I mean, you can listen to like Led Zeppelin, which is a lot worse as far as the lyrics, crazy lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Mine would be Black Sabbath, Heaven, and I guess stop there, right? I can't say it on the radio. Better not.
Really, you'd say that's your
Yeah.
best album of all time?
Yeah, for me, yes.
Wow.
Ronnie James Dio's first album with him. Yep. Heaven, and Heck.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the later stuff.
No.
Didn't they name the band
right.
that
They
afterwards?
did, yeah, but I
Okay.
I don't want to
That
say
album,
it. Yeah, better not say it. I mean,
I gotcha.
but I mean, everyone knows it. It's the first album that Ronnie James Dio did in
I'll
1980.
gotta agree with you on that one too, man. That
It's
was a
just
great one.
Bill Ward is on that album, which is awesome. Bill Ward is an unbelievable drummer. He left halfway during that tour, and Vinny Appice came in.
And that's another.
That's a
album.
great, yeah, but that
Start to finish, there isn't a bad song.
there isn't a
on that
bad
album.
finish song on it.
No.
And it's funny, my brother doesn't really like them, that band,
Right.
but he loves that album. He thinks
Right.
that album is a masterpiece, and I gave that to him for his 15th birthday. Oh, my brother's 15th birthday, I believe. Yeah, 1980 he was
Yeah.
15. So yeah, I gave it.
Isn't it funny how certain albums? will just
That I
like-
used to listen to one song over and over on my.
Okay, so we only have seconds left. Joey.
Iron Maiden, Power Slave.
Oh, what a great album.
Yeah.
All right.
Really good album.
None to drink.
There's another one. Man. It's
Great
like
album.
Rhyme of the Ancient
one
Mariner is awesome.
note to now, does that have the Trooper on it?
No.
No, I don't think that's
No.
on Peace of Mind. I think.
Okay, Peace of Mind. See, that's my favorite song of theirs.
Yeah.
That is my favorite
Flight
song.
of Icarus is my favorite Iron Maiden song.
My favorite song of all time is Glenn Hughes' Orion.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny too because he put it in his yearbook. What are the lyrics he put in? What was
Something in the chorus. I don't know off the top of my head.
I think you should take a picture.
We'll talk about it next week.
I think you should take a picture of that and send it to Glenn.
All right, it is 8:00. We gotta go. Coming up next is Bread of Life with Pastor Ortez Vandross.
Thank you, Dave, for coming in.
Hey.
Yeah, thank
thanks
you,
for
Dave.
having me, guys.
We had a lot of fun. And,
It was fun.
And bye-bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. Great rest of your weekend and a great week. And go Celtics. Bye-bye, everybody.
Cue the music.
Bye, everybody.